Hey everybody, this is Gus G from Firewind and you're watching CMS TV. Rock on.
From the Congregation of Annihilation released, the latest from Metal Church, that's called Making Monsters. And kicking off the show tonight, we heard something brand new from Dokken from the forthcoming release. Heaven Comes Down with Fugitive that was released just this week. And here's my friend and partner, Chris Aiken, the fugitive from life. What's happening there?
What's going on, man?
You sound groggy.
Yeah, not groggy. It's I blew my throat out completely last night at karaoke.
Oh, yeah? You're out there singing your ass off, huh?
I took, the song I Don't Care Anymore from Phil Collins?
Yeah. I don't care anymore. No.
I took that fucking song last night and turned it into just a hate rendition aimed at my ex-wife.
And was there a reason why she came to mind?
No, I don't even know why the song came to mind, except I was just looking to do something that I could get a little bit more aggressive and silly with.
Sure.
But literally, as I was singing it, I felt my throat just go. I was like, oh, no.
So you got the little rasp going on.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. I literally all day today, I took, me, I'm always on the phone.
Yeah.
I took 2 calls all day. I took probably a 3-minute call from Eric and a 5-minute call from Johnny. And that's it. The whole rest of the day, I did not say a word so that I would have enough to do the show tonight.
Right. So did you bathe your throat in hot tea and honey?
No. My daughter said I should do that too. I was just like, what am I, a fag? No,
that's just good throat coat. It just warms up the pipes, stretches out the vocal cords. Put a little cayenne pepper in that. It's a good remedy for the raspy throat.
I just drank a bunch of water today, and I got my reward right here, ready to keep me lubed up in the throat. Like a $10 hooker.
Well, you oughta reach out to that reward people and see if they can get you a sponsorship.
I really should, as much of it as I'm drinking.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, how did you light onto that anyway? How did you stumble on that?
My daughter was drinking it, and she brought it over. She's like, "Here, taste this. It's actually not full of sugar and shit."
Right.
And I tasted it, and I really liked it, and it does give you it's almost like an energy drink, sort of. It's like an electrolyte drink, right. I guess. So it really boosts you up, but it doesn't have any bullshit in it.
Right.
So I started drinking it, and then I started loving it. So it just, now it's like the only thing I drink other than water.
Sure.
So I love it.
Well, years ago, this was, 10, 12 years ago, maybe. I don't even know if they make it anymore, to be honest with you, because after I, read the ingredients, I didn't drink it anymore. But there was a product out there called Propel Water.
Oh, yeah.
And I really enjoyed that quite a bit. But then it was pointed out to me that that they were using like aspartame or something in it for that, and that's not a good thing to put in your system. So I just stopped drinking it. But I really liked it. But then I realized, oh boy, see, it's flavored with this aspartame. So
hey, you gotta die something, dude. I put sweet and low in my coffee every fucking day.
Some saccharin.
Yep, two packets of sweet and low in every cup of coffee. I drink 2 cups of coffee every single day.
Yeah.
I literally buy it by the 1,500 packet box so that I don't have to order it once a month.
Yeah. I stopped using any kind of sweetener in my coffee about 10 years ago.
Yeah, you just drink it black?
No, I use creamer, but I don't put any sugar in it. I used to like to have some sugar in my coffee, but yeah. I stopped doing that a long time ago too.
No sugar tonight in my coffee.
Exactly. That's exactly right. No, I just slowly just started cutting things out, that I used to do, and I just don't indulge anymore.
Another 5 years will be like, what's really good? These rice cakes. Put a sprinkle of cinnamon on it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, really. Well, I do eat the Quaker Oats rice chips. I guess they're rice chips.
Yuck.
They're really good. They got the cheddar flavor.
Rice chips?
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
had a rice chip.
It's pretty good. Good
I'll have to look at. Look, if it's good, it's decent for me. It's got to be better than a fucking bag of Lay's or whatever.
Yeah, it's certainly not oily and greasy and bad for you like that. It's really actually very flavorful and very good. And sometimes I kind of lose track and I can eat a whole bag in no time at all. It's
Right.
just, holy shit, I ate that whole bag.
Right. It happens.
Yep.
Jason, I like cream of wheat. He likes cream of some young guy.
Cream of wheat was always too gritty. I never liked cream of wheat.
Who's Wheat, Jason? Where'd you meet him?
Yeah. What the hell? Too funny. So what else is going on? I haven't really conversed with you all week. You've been busy with your stuff. I've been busy with my stuff. Just I've been wrapped up the life coaching classes, took my final exam.
Did you pass?
Oh yeah.
Get 100?
Well, technically yes, but there was one question there that you could have multiple answers to.
Okay.
And I picked one of the answers that you weren't supposed to pick.
Okay.
But I had justification why I picked it because it was kind of an ambiguous question.
Right.
And that's the only thing I missed. I missed a partial, I picked one of the answers in one question that I shouldn't have picked.
So you got a 98.5 or whatever.
Something like that. Something like that. So I passed the final and all that kind of good stuff. So that's all good.
Oh, that's cool.
And I've been I wrapped up doing some sample sessions with people who signed up. I tried to reach out to some people who had signed up and they just sort of fell off the map. So regardless, I mean, I'm here. So, feel free to reach out if that's something you're interested in.
So I guess that means this week I got to carve out some Neeley time to.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I got to get you some kind of a idea what you're going to do with the website. So, it's up to me to get you some info so you can at least get a basis down,
Yeah, that's fine. Whenever. I mean, I'll make it. It's not like I'm not cutting out sleep in other places, so why not cut some out for you too?
Right, sure. Why not? Why not?
Yeah. No, dude, my week was exactly what you think. 18, 19 hours a day. Boring into it, just boring into I was in class for a while this week, learning how to build the CRM, and I was building the CRM for a bunch of hours this week, and me, Johnny, and our team were all working on various customers, including one Don Dokken.
Yeah.
Oh my God, does he have a lot of fucking songs? Jesus Christ. My son's actually working on his catalog.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, well, there's 900 different places for him to have songs.
Sure.
And they all have different codes. So it's like Dream Warriors. There must be 27 different versions of Dream Warriors alone out there.
Right.
But we're getting it all cataloged and we're getting it all put in, and we're looking at a pretty sizable first paycheck. So
well, that's good.
So we're we're making it go, and it's funny. I worked so much this week that I finally just got to the end, and I just was like, I gotta take a break.
Mm-hmm.
I got to, it literally was like to the point that people were starting to call me and be like, dude, you're going to collapse like you did before.
Right.
And I was like, all right, I'll take a break. So John had called me on Wednesday and was like, hey, we're having a bunch of like mutual friends up from Lima.
Sure.
Up to John's place because John just bought a new house, like 6 months ago or whatever. So it's almost sort of like a housewarming party type of a deal.
All right. Is it out in Wadsworth?
It's out in Wadsworth.
Way out in Wadsworth.
Way out there. So I had just, he asked me if I wanted to come out. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. I need a break. I need to get away from this fucking work. I need a night out, right?
Sure.
So I was gonna leave. I was gonna leave at 5 o'clock. I had to swing out to pick Kelly up, and then go out to John's place out in Wadsworth. So about 4:30, I was like, I'm gonna take just a 30-minute nap, and I even set my phone for 30 minutes. And I woke up at about 8:30.
Right.
Just slept completely through the alarm. Didn't wake me up at all. So I just slept for like 4 hours. So then I was like, fuck. But then I just called John and I was like, hey, what's the address to the club that we're going to? Because we had planned to go after to the club. And I just met him up at the club and
Sure.
went and did some karaoke. And I sang some Dokken last night. I sang Dream Warriors last night. Had to get Don an extra nickel for his to pay us.
Right.
But yeah, I even did Dream Warriors in two forms. I did the first half of the stuff I did in current 2023 Don Dokken voice on stage.
Right.
And then the second half of it I did in 1987 video voice.
Well, no wonder your throat is raspy.
Oh, I was doing some tough songs last night.
Yeah, well, if you were trying to hit the nuts in a vice,
and I was like, it's the same desire to feel the fire. I was all the way up as high as I could go. I was doing stuff that was well outside of my range last night, but it was fun. That's what karaoke's supposed to be. You're not supposed to do easy stuff.
Absolutely.
So I did go. I did make the drive all the way out to the fucking middle of Wadsworth.
Right.
And I'll tell you the best thing that I did, and this is sort of rare for me, but it's becoming more and more of a thing. I just didn't drink. I had 2 beers the entire time I was there.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't drink anything. No shots, no beers.
You have ways to get home, though. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but that's never stopped me in the past. But, I guess I'm just getting older and I don't want to be stopped.
Yeah, well, why would you? Who wants to be stopped?
No one.
Not in this day and age.
No, but man, I was so thankful that I didn't drink because coming home, it was a goddamn monsoon.
Yeah.
And it was like it was following me home. I just stayed in it. And at one point on 77 or whatever, which is not a fast highway anyway, my tires were fucking spinning. I was fishtailing. I was hydroplaning like crazy.
Hydroplaning, huh?
Yeah, like all over the highway, I was hydroplaning. And I was like going way slower than speed. I was like 50 miles an hour or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It just was raining that hard. So I was like, thank God I'm not fucked up because I probably would have crashed.
Always nice to get out, but man, just that drive home sometimes is a pain in the dick.
Well, it is, and it's late. I mean, I stayed out last night till about, I guess, I think I left the karaoke place about 1:30 or so.
Sure.
And, for me, it's another probably 45, 50 minutes home anyway,
right,
in a regular day.
Right.
Add into it the fucking rain. Oh, my God. I think it took me like an hour and 20.
Yeah.
Hour 20, hour 30 to get home.
When that rain comes down and those highways get flooded, man, it's you're just like skating on water.
Yeah. And you get, I don't know about you, but I'm a pussy. And I don't like when I feel my car, which is a bigger, heavier car anyway, when it's starting to slide around a lot, I don't really like to try and pass the trucks or anything because I'm afraid the trucks are going to hit the same shit that I'm hitting and skid.
That's a wise idea.
So you end up stuck behind a truck going fucking 45 miles an hour for a long stretch until you're sure it's dry.
That, you get up alongside them and they're splashing water off the side and hitting your car and causing you some issues. So yeah, it's a wise idea not to get up alongside a truck, especially if the rain is down that hard.
Yeah, and plus at 2 a.m, they might be hopped up on speed to make it to their next place and everything else. So, there's a lot of reasons not to pass a truck at 2 a.m.
Yeah, and in bad weather anyway.
Yep, exactly. So
I get you.
So yeah, it took me a long time to get home, but thank God I was sober.
Sure.
That was even more unusual that I was up there doing singing because I usually have to get a couple of shots in my head to get going, but not last night. I was ready to go.
It must be your new water habit over there with the
rewards.
Your reward water.
I think it was just I was so tired from work. I needed to do something that was just mindless and silly.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I get that. Last Sunday, I went out to meet up with the Dokken boys. They came to town. They drove in from the Detroit area,
Right.
and Sal met up with me. Everybody was gonna stay at this hotel, and so I'm at the hotel, and I didn't think they had gotten into town yet.
Right.
And Sal pulled in there, and we were just sitting there shooting the shit, talking for a few minutes, and my phone rings, and it's John Levin, and he's just like, "Hey, man, are you coming to stay at the hotel with
Right.
us?" I said, "Yeah, I'm at the hotel waiting." "Oh, we're not staying there now." So we went in there, and the place was a shithole. So we're down the street at this other place.
Nice.
We're at the Longhorn having lunch right now. Come down and have lunch.
All right.
So Sal and I drove down to the Longhorn and met up with everybody, and they had just gotten in just before we got there. And,
What's Sal have for lunch? A whiskey burger with beer fries?
who had what?
I said, did Sal have a whiskey burger with beer fries?
He said he didn't eat anything. I don't know. He was sitting at another table with John.
Okay.
And the sound guy James.
All right.
And me and Don and BJ and Chris were sitting at another table, so I wasn't keeping an eye on Sal. He and the two lawyers were over there conferring with each other.
Right.
So they were talking lawyer stuff between themselves, and I was just kind of catching up with the guys, and we got after lunch, the Longhorn was right there in the same parking lot as the hotel, so we just walked over to the hotel and got checked in over there.
Okay.
And so Sal's like, "Hey, I want to buy you a drink." I said, "Okay." So we walked over to one of the places that I normally go, the Quaker Steak and Lube.
Yeah.
Which is right there in the same parking lot too. And we went over there and had a couple of cocktails. I mean, we didn't have anywhere to go until later in the evening anyway for the show. And, we just sat there and shot the shit, whatever, and went back to the hotel and met up a little bit later for lobby call. Well, the show was on a Sunday night in a blue collar town.
Okay.
Portage, Indiana. And I want to shout out to Ryan. He said, "Remember me on the show?" There was a lot of CMS fans out there.
Nice.
I mean, I was surprised at how many people come up to say hello and take a picture and all that other stuff. It was, I was really surprised. But so we get to the venue. They didn't even go on till 9:30
on a Sunday.
A Sunday night.
Wow.
George Lynch and Lynch Mob opened up the show, and of course, Lynch came out to do the 3 songs at the end, like they've been doing the last 3 years.
Sure.
So by the time the show was over, it was a little after 11, and people were filing out like a little after 10.
Right.
It's Sunday night. I got to go to work.
Right. Sure.
So a lot of people were filing out by 10:30. The crowd was thinning out by then because it's just too late.
Sure.
Too late in the evening on a Sunday.
There were old people that waited long enough to say, "Yep, saw a couple songs. I saw Dokken."
Exactly.
They could go to work on Monday and say, "Yeah, I saw Dokken last night."
Exactly. So anyway, we went back to the hotel, and we all just were kind of hanging out, and I was helping Don get all packed back up because they were flying out in the morning to go back home. And I had the day off on Monday. Sal had the day off. So I had a dentist appointment Monday morning. I told Sal, I said, "Hey, listen, my appointment's at 10. I said, you don't need to check out till 11. I said, by the time I'm done with my appointment, let's meet up for lunch, and whatever." And so after I got done with the dentist appointment, Sal's like, "Dude, I'm just extending my stay here. I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going to drive back into the city." Just like, "You're staying here?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm just going to stay here probably until maybe after dinner, or maybe around 8, then I'll drive home."
Around 8?
Yeah, I'm just like, it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. What traffic? I'm just going to catch up on some sleep.
Hello, room service. Can you bring me a 12-pack?
He must not be able to sleep in the city with all that crime and violence and gunshots going off. It was probably pretty peaceful out there going, you know what? It's peaceful out here.
Yeah, there's no crack deals and bullets.
I can actually get some sleep out here. So me and Sal hung out. We ate lunch. We went to the Quaker Steak and Lube and had lunch and,
Right.
just kind of talking and stuff. But yeah, the show was fun. It was good. I mean, it was an outdoor deal and, they were very accommodating. They had the whole tent situation set up. And,
Sure.
but everybody was very, very friendly. And, all the CMS fans that were out, I appreciate every one of you coming up to say hello.
That's
I
cool.
was standing on the side of the stage there and several people came up and they're waving at me to come over and, take a picture with them and stuff.
Right.
I've been listening to you and Chris for years.
Oh, how about that?
I knew you would be here. I was hoping I'd get a chance to meet you and say hello.
Wow.
Like, wow. Okay.
Talk about a celebrity sighting.
know.
They met you.
I know. It was in fact, one guy recognized me just by the sound of my voice. We were in the tent there in the catering tent.
Right.
And me and Don were standing there talking, and the guy looks over at me and goes, "Are you Neeley?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "I thought I recognized your voice."
Dude, you remember that bit you did in 2009 when you told that joke?
Exactly. Exactly.
Is that your cousin?
I don't know. Is it?
She says it's your cousin Jewel.
Well, yeah, Jewel from Arizona, I believe. Yeah, how about that? Hello, Jewel.
Well, from that little picture, Jewel is a jewel.
Is
my goodness.
she listening to the show or
I
something?
guess so. She's in the Facebook chat, so she's watching it on Facebook or
There's
something.
a Facebook chat.
Or yeah, well, they can chat on Facebook.
Oh,
It
all right.
broadcasts there as well. So
See, there's so many outlets you got us plugged into. I had no idea.
yeah. Well, she says she is. She
Yeah,
is
how
listening.
about that? Yes, look at that. She is listening. Well, hello, Jewel. I haven't seen you since you were a child. I think the last time I saw her she might have been 8, probably.
Nice.
8 years old. I mean, it's been a long time. Been a long time. Yeah. So, okay. Look at that.
Heading back from Vegas and listening in the car.
That's the way to do it. Listen,
There you
isn't that great technology? Back in the day, the only way to listen to broadcasts was on your terrestrial radio.
Mm-hmm.
Now people can just plug in and listen to us in the car, just like any other outlet.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when we were thrilled to get like 23 people total listening for an entire show on Live 365 or whatever.
That was early stuff, man.
Yeah. You were driving like 3 hours just to do the show.
Yeah, it was about an hour and 15 minutes each way.
Yeah, just for the privilege of doing it for 20 fucking people.
Yeah, well, you had to start somewhere. That's why we are where we are today, is because I just never gave up.
Yeah, now it's a few more than that. That's for sure.
All right. Well, I hope you won something in Vegas there, Jewel.
Yeah.
Feel free to send me some of the proceeds.
That might be a bill, dude. You might want to temper that request.
Sure.
Most people don't come out of there ahead.
That's absolutely true. So then continue with the week.
Yeah.
Tuesday evening, I went and took the lovely Taylor out to dinner at the Trump Tower.
Nice.
At the Trump Plaza in downtown Chicago.
Somebody
And-
shoot at you? Did you get called a racist and a bigot and a homophobe for being there?
Well, there is a little bit of that.
Okay.
There was a little bit about that, of that, but Taylor lives like a block and a half from there.
Okay.
And so we just walked over there and went to the bar. We were there a little bit early before our reservation, so we went to the second story bar, which overlooks the Chicago River there.
Right.
And we just sat there having some wine and just talking, and I was bringing her up to date with the fiasco that happened in Pittsburgh a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And we were just kind of catching up with that. So, by time it was time for our reservation, we went up to the 16th floor, which is where the restaurant is, and it's an outdoor thing. It's indoor and outdoor, but
Okay.
we chose to sit outside on the terrace and being downtown, it was kind of a cool thing. little breezy, but it was pretty cool.
Right.
So we had a waitress. She was of Hispanic descent.
All right.
Real friendly girl. Seemed to be all right. And so we were just kind of kidding around, and I was asking her. I said, "So does Mr. Trump come here on a Friday and hand you your paycheck personally?" And she was just like, her face, just
Yeah.
she goes, "He doesn't even own this building anymore. It's just by name only. It's just a licensing deal. He doesn't even own this."
All right.
I got real matter of fact like that.
Right.
And I said, "Well, from your reaction, sounds like you don't like Trump." "Well, no, I really don't. He's really corrupt." I said, "Really?" I said, "So can you name one thing that he's done that's corrupt?" "I don't know. There's just so many. I can't name them all."
Yeah, there's so many.
I said, "Just name me one thing. Give me one thing that he's done that's corrupt." I can't name one thing, but he's just so corrupt." That's it. I said, "See,
Okay.
that's what the social media and that's what the mainstream media does is they just plant that seed, no fact, no nothing, So in her mind, that's her impression,
Of course. Yeah.
But overall, it was a pretty good thing. We were there for our reservation was at 7, and we probably didn't even leave there till 11:15. So it was a little more than a 4-hour dinner, just sitting up there, just
Wow.
enjoying the wine and enjoying the atmosphere, and the food was pretty good. We had some of the like appetizers and stuff like that, so it was sort of like an ongoing little course. They
Right.
bring out just a little bit of something every so often, so it kind of was a nice evening to get out.
Well, that's cool.
Summer evening. It's something I definitely need to get out. So I didn't get home till probably 2:15. Then it was up at that crack of dawn and back at it again. So
Right.
But it was definitely worth it, just being able to get out and do some stuff. So hanging out with the Dokken boys, hanging out with Taylor, and mixing that in with work and getting the life coaching thing out of the way. So it's been a pretty good week.
Well, that's good. Sounds like you were busy. I was definitely busy.
Yeah, no doubt. But today was one of those days I was just like, you know what? I ain't getting out of bed today. And I didn't. I stayed in bed all day.
Nice.
Like, I think I slept on and off all day. I was just like, man, just mentally burnt out.
Yeah. I worked some, but not like I've been. I was just tired. I did some shit just some basics, some account setups that I had to do for some people, but
Sure.
wasn't my put on the headphones and focus in so I can write. Okay, if we get a new customer, how do I automate this, and this? It wasn't that today. I just didn't have it. I did not have it in my head. It's like even Johnny called me up and we're trying to get him signed up into the CRM system, and there's a process to do it. And I know the process, but it's like, I mean, I know it. I can talk it through when my brain is right, but my brain wasn't right. And I just said to him, he was like, "Oh, do I click this or that?" I was like, "Dude, let's just do this tomorrow."
Right.
I don't have it for you today.
I just don't have the mental capacity to work on this today.
Well, there's that. And plus, I didn't want to blow up my voice either talking.
Right. I get
because he called me at like 8:00. Or I called him. One of us called. I don't even know who called who. Somebody called somebody at 8:00, and then the conversation started. And it was like, I don't have it for this, bro.
Right.
But yeah, we are. Wow, are we busy? Holy fuck.
Well, that's a positive thing. I mean, you kind of set the wheels in motion back in the fall last year. So here you're coming up on almost a year already.
Yeah, well, but we've only really been super active with it.
Yeah, but what I mean is the wheels in motion back in October last year.
Yeah. And we've been talking through it since then, but I mean, we really went and said, okay, we're open for business about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. But you had to lay the groundwork.
Yeah, and we're still laying the groundwork. Good Lord. Trying to organize this thing while it's being processed by 3 or 4 different people at the same time. Ugh. but it's so easy to sell. We're at like 40 customers already
Right.
in 3 weeks. 40. It's like,
Well, who doesn't want to pick up an extra paycheck? Who doesn't want to get the money that's due them?
yeah. Well, we've only had one turn down, and that was, I better not say who, but I will say it was the estate of one of the very, 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 very biggest artists in the history of music.
Okay.
And the only reason we got turned down was because they have a parent company deal that it would be like a violation.
Yeah, conflict of interest.
Yeah. So,
Gotcha.
but they even were interested. They took the meeting, but I think they took the meeting to try and figure out how we were doing it.
Right, I get you.
So, I mean, but it's been really, this might be the one. I keep telling myself, don't get yourself excited. Don't get all fucking crazy.
Right.
Don't start spending money before you have it. I just keep telling myself, until I have more than $800 in the bank, I have $800 in the bank.
Right.
That's kind of
I get you.
my motto. But I mean, it's real exciting, and it's exciting how fast this thing is growing. So that's probably the most. I haven't been this busy since we were building Pinball PA.
Right.
And you remember those days, dude,
Yeah.
more than anybody, because you were talking to me a ton where I was traveling back and forth between 2 cities and trying to manage businesses for multiple things. I'm doing that again, and it's crazy. It's like I got Ed or Zach from Pinball PA saying, hey, can you do this or can you do that? I'm like, hey, Ed, I'm putting it on task list, and it just ends up off the screen of tasks I got to do.
Right.
And it's, and then Ake and IT still doing it. And now this, it's like, whew. And then on top of this, I'll tell you another little secret that's going on. Mr. Fuck You might be going back to commercial radio as well.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's some talk being had right now with the Seth Show about taking one of the 2 episodes that we do a week and putting it on WHK. So I might have to tuck the fuck yous into my pocket one show a week.
Right.
Get on a little bit of a radio clock, but
Yeah, I thought you said you weren't doing the Seth Show.
well, now it's turning into a thing. You know me, I don't turn anything down.
Well, I get you. But I thought you had made it clear that you were only going to fill in until we could find another.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm enjoying it because I wasn't planning to. I really wasn't. I mean, and you know that. I really was trying to just do a favor. But I'm actually having fun doing it. And it gives me an outlet that I don't have here, or I don't have with Chris Ake Presents.
Right.
And I could do without as much of the politics. Seth is like you as far as the politics. He's you and him should do the show, to be honest, because he loves to talk politics. And my God, you and him could take shifts driving the Trump train. But I mean, the politics is a little much for me. But at the same time, I'm enjoying, doing stuff like around town stuff and stuff like that I haven't had a chance to do.
Yeah, keep it local, man. Keep it local.
Well, I mean, I'm not that guy. I mean, I'm really not that guy. But at the same time, it's just a form of radio, a form of entertainment that I haven't ever done.
Right.
Like we had Robin Swoboda on a couple weeks ago. Yeah, do you remember her, Robin Swoboda?
She was a newscaster.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she was a newscaster. She's big, famous in Cleveland, but she also went off and did like Inside Sports with Ahmad Rashad nationally and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that stuff is like cool to me, but where would I do that in these outlets? I wouldn't.
Right.
So it's kind of fun to have a little different place. And, even some of the musical stuff that I get pitched doesn't fit for Chris Ake Presents. It certainly doesn't fit here.
Right.
Some of the modern rock and the Nirvana wannabe knockoff bands and shit like that. So it's just a fun, it's a different atmosphere for me to do. And, now all of a sudden WHK reached out or is talking to us. I don't know if they reached out or Seth reached to them or what, but they've expressed some interest in what we're doing. So
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like doing our show on the Rocket years ago.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's going to be, I'm not going to lie, and I've told Seth this a couple times. I'm like, we have to pre-record this. We're not going to do it live because it'll be a nightmare live. I swear too much. And I don't know that I can turn it off completely in the live setting.
Sure.
But if we record it, like I guess the talk is that we would take the Wednesday show of Seth and we would record it. And then if I got to clean it up, then I could put in the bad word. I could put that clip in there somewhere.
Right, of course.
And clean it up a little bit if needed. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think it would be funny after all these years for me to go back to commercial radio. But,
Right.
but why not? What the fuck?
Yeah, well, why not? I agree.
As long as they're okay with me doing this, because I'm not going to temper this so that I can make them feel safe.
Right, I get you.
And I've made that abundantly clear. I've told every single person that I've been involved with, I do some really raunchy shock jock radio, and I'm not going to be changing it.
Right.
And I make that if you want me to come on there and talk to, like last week we talked to two different women that were like issue 1 people. One was some lawyer that had been a consultant for a president and stuff. Like she was like real accomplished or whatever. And then another was, you'll laugh at this. One was like a Planned Parenthood advocate or something.
Okay.
And I'm in there going, well, tell me about this. I'm so into it. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, I hate you.
Oh, well, why didn't you just turn it into something heinous and said, I'm all for killing the kids?
Well, I have said that on the show. I've said that multiple times on the show. And I actually did say to her that I was definitely not against abortion. I didn't say I'm pro killing kids, but I have said exactly that on the show. I've said exactly what I've said here is you can be, if you're against abortion or if you're pro-abortion, that's fine, but stop making up soft words to make it easier.
Right.
Say what it is.
Yeah,
say you're pro killing kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will say proudly, I am pro killing a young baby.
Look at you.
I don't care. Take it for what it is.
You're gonna burn in hell, fella.
Well, if you think I'm going to get burned in hell, the thing that's going to put me over that threshold is saying those words. Well, you don't know me as well as you think, my friend.
Yeah, I just, and what was the impetus behind having a guest like that on?
They had a big vote here on Tuesday, issue 1.
Okay.
Which was about changing the Ohio Constitution from 50% plus a vote to 60%.
Okay.
And it was a big deal here, and it was all confused by lobbyists and all kinds of bullshit about, people were turning it into an abortion thing and a gun rights thing and everything else instead of it's just about protecting the Constitution.
Right.
And it lost, to be honest. The worst part was we brought on 2 people because Seth wanted to convince as many people as possible to vote yes on issue 1. It lost by like 50%. It was like 70-30. So what is that? 40% difference or whatever. But it got murdered in the Constitution. So
just
now,
like an aborted child.
Yeah, that's right. It was like a clothes hanger to the mid-uterus. It really was just a fucking brutal thing. But it was we had those advocates on to talk about this thing and whatever. I mean, I can talk politics. I just don't know anything about it.
Right.
And I've told Seth that. Seth sends me stories all the time. I'll get 10 articles a week from Seth, or especially on show day, article.
Yeah. Do your homework, bro. Do your show prep. And
you know what I say every time? We'll get on the air and I'll be like, I didn't read that.
Yeah, I'm just going to go by my gut here.
Yeah, I'm just going to, it's just is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not going to be well read on the subject. I'm just going to play it by ear, just like I do my other shows.
Yeah. Well, and if it's a guest, I'll ask the questions that I don't know.
Yeah, you'll be like Larry King. How important is the hanger?
Pretty much. Pretty much. How late is too late for late-term abortion? Is 35 too late?
Larry King.
Rest in peace.
Right, exactly. Wow, it's too funny. Well, obviously you've got your plate full. You're doing the doing the worky work and then doing the entertainment thing, and
Well, and dude, the funnest part about this whole thing is I know I told you this. I don't know if I said it on the air or not, but I know I told you I was going to make a concerted effort this year to change my life into making all my money through this.
Right.
Through podcasting, through entertainment, just through the music business, really, or through the entertainment business.
Right.
And so it looks like it's happening.
Okay.
It's amazing, but it's actually happening.
Sure.
Can you see our comments? Yes, Colin. What is it with you attention-seeking faggots? Jesus Christ!
So what is it? They want to chime in, and they're waving.
Yeah. They're waiting for me. Oh, let me put them all up. Jason gave me emojis. Then he said he loves Angry Aiken. Then he could care less about politics. Oh, here's a good one. Brian from Tennessee. Chris and Seth is a good show. Oh, look, here's another one. Oh, no, it's not a pre-record. Do I really need to do that for every fucking comment? If I laugh at something, I'll put it up.
Right.
If it's boring, I won't. Jesus Christ. See, now this made me laugh. I will not be.
Oh, look at that. I will not be ignored.
See, that made me laugh, so I'll put it up.
Of course. All right.
Yeah.
What did everybody's seeking attention for their commentary?
They are.
Their witty banter commentary.
They are. They want to be part of the show. I thought you guys hate Facebook. We do. Doesn't mean we're not on it. They haven't censored us yet.
I mean, I personally don't have a Facebook. I never have.
No, it's on the show Facebook.
Oh, I get that, but I mean, you run that shit. I don't give two shits what you do with that.
Well, I'll give you you and the fans a quick notice or how this works. When I create the sessions for StreamYard, it asks me where I want to put the show.
And it just automatically distributes.
And it puts it out there. Yeah, and I don't do it.
Yeah, it just automatically distributes it.
Yeah, it throws it out there. I don't touch it. So, there we go.
All right, perfect. Well, speaking of politics, our gun guy Brandon Herrara, he announced his bid for running for Congress in Texas down there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. He said the guy that's in the representative of that district that he's in, voted with Biden on the gun control and stuff. And he says, he's gonna take him out. So
nice.
He just, he announced his bid for Congress.
Okay. Good for him.
He says, I believe in the ideals of this country and the Constitution, and I'm not going to temper my sense of humor and because I'm not going to change a thing.
Right.
So
good for him.
Yeah. So we may look at his little thing a little bit later in the show.
That's fine.
Because it's only like about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5-minute intro, but good on him.
Hell yeah. We can talk a little politics if you want. I've got just a blazing, infuriating example of these cunts over at MSNBC and how ridiculous they are at just spreading propaganda.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's all CNN and MSNBC is a propaganda machine.
It is just ridiculous.
I haven't watched any of that shit in years, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah, I just happened to see this one on I don't know, Twitter or somewhere, and I grabbed it for the Seth show, but I may just use it here because it's like I actually laughed out loud watching it.
Yeah,
because it's like fuck, what is do it? We don't have to wait. We have nothing else going on. Let's see.
No kidding.
Hold on here. Give me 1 sec. This fucking dummy, this talking head dumbbell, says on the he was on the all-time great show, The Morning Joe. He says that if Trump gets reelected, shows like The Morning Joe will be canceled by Trump. That's his first order of business. It's canceling shows.
Okay, and I'm glad to know that the president has the opportunity to cancel TV shows.
Well, he gives why too. He explains why. Okay. This guy is such a fucking idiot. But yeah, check this dummy out.
Make no mistake about it, and this is why I get so enraged with not the far right fringe, but the Republican, the establishment Republicans. Right. Do you not understand that if Donald Trump wins, nothing else matters because it's over? Morning Joe might act, just to take a little example, Morning Joe might not exist anymore because Donald Trump has said, as all autocrats say, what they will do. And he said, if I'm elected, I want the FCC reporting directly into me. And he will make no mistake about it.
Okay.
What a fucking idiot. Donnie Deutsch.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot. Yeah, I'm sure if Trump gets back into office, that's gonna be what he leads with. I gotta go after Morning Joe.
Right.
I gotta take that shit off the air.
Yeah, too funny. So stupid. I said
guys they're so fucking caught up in their own bullshit.
Well, it's the Trump derangement syndrome.
I got your email.
All right. Yeah, so this
Do you want me to start it where you are there? Or
no,
start at the beginning?
Start at the beginning.
All right, let's see.
So our guy, Brandon Herrara, our gun guy, who's got a great sense of humor, he decided that he's had enough of the bullshit, so he's going to go out there and, threw his hat in the ring to run for Congress in his district down there in southwestern Texas.
Good question here before we get with him. Do you think Trump would cancel the Burt Show and Rover's Morning Glory?
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say hope so.
Yeah, that's going to be the first order of business once he gets control of the FCC.
All right, so here we go. Here's this guy.
That's why I'm running for Congress. How's it going, guys? If you haven't guessed, this is probably going to be a different video than you're used to. Today, August 12th, 2023, minutes before this video went live, I announced I am going to be running for Congress. Specifically, I will be challenging the establishment Republican Tony Gonzalez for the District 23 congressional seat in the Republican primary for 2024. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. No, this is not a joke. No, this is not satire. I have legally filed to run for Congress, and I do intend to take this role very seriously. I understand to many of you this may come as a surprise, but don't worry. In this video, I hope to explain why I'm doing this, what I actually hope to accomplish, and what this means for us going forward. But first, no, this channel is not about to go full political. So if you're here for the firearm breakdowns, history, and all the other fun stuff we get into, don't worry. That's not going anywhere, and no, I don't plan on sanitizing my humor or content either. But for me personally, a lot of things are about to change behind the scenes. But before I
hate to say it, but that's why he won't win either.
Well, again, it's raising the profile, regardless if he wins or not. At least,
Yeah, but if he doesn't sanitize his channel, I'm sure the minute he announced this, you probably had scavengers going downloading every one of his videos
and then have to go through it with a fine tooth. Did you hear what he said here? He made some kind of homophobic joke right here. He said something that could be construed as racist here. See what he did?
He said the word fag. Yeah. He obviously hates the gay community.
Right.
He's against the LGBTQIA plus ABC 632.
Exactly.
All right, play a little more. Here we go.
Get the specific policies or the things that I want to accomplish with this, I want to talk first about the two main reasons why I decided to take this big leap. The first being that I love this country. I know it sounds cliche, but that's the honest truth. But much more than that, I think I have a deep love for the values that this country was founded on. The ideas of freedom, of self-governance. You see, America was never supposed to be the country that gave you everything you always wanted. It was simply a place that gave you the freedom and the opportunity to chase those things for yourself, to pursue happiness, to build great things. The freedom to choose your own destiny and build a life for you and your family. Sadly, those ideals are under attack, and they have been for a long time.
I'm just going to say it. I enjoy this guy's videos, but I have heard the same speech from every fucking one of these guys. I literally heard the same speech earlier this week from fucking Steven Crowder announcing the relaunch of Mug Club or whatever. And it's the whole same. I love this country and we're under attack and we've got to fight back. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
well,
we got it.
but he is right though that this country wasn't meant to just give you everything you wanted.
Sure.
It gives you the freedom to go pursue it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he's right, but I don't know. It just sounds like it's the same speech
Right.
over and over by everybody. But
Right. Well, I mean, what else can you say?
yeah, you really can't. I'd rather he take over this country with the shit in his fucking lockbox. Quite honestly, I'd rather hear about that than hear him saying about I love this country.
Right.
It's the great salt of the earth. That's what I am, and I want to.
And Brandon's a young guy. He's only like in his mid to late 20s.
Can you run for? I guess Congress. You can't run for president,
No,
right?
you got to be 40,
45 or 35 or something.
I think 40, 42, I think.
Yeah, some number. Yeah, yeah, some number. No shit, dummy. All right, a little bit more of him. Here we go.
Time. That part I don't think is ever going to change. We always have and always will have to fight for the America that we know and love. What I guess inspired this is that a large number of the politicians that liberty-loving Americans have turned to defend these ideals have failed. Several Republicans who swore to defend gun rights, to protect borders, and just in general putting the rights and interests of the American people above their own, turn their back on these values. They voted time and time again against the constitutionally guaranteed rights of their constituents. This has to change. There can be no more incumbent politicians who vote time and time again against the interests of the American people without fear of losing their positions. It's like once they win their first election, they feel untouchable in the primaries. We have to remind them that if they fail to uphold their oath to defend the Constitution, that we will primary them, we will campaign against them, and we will win. Now, the second main reason I wanted to do this.
All right, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
My problem is I can't vote for this guy, can I?
No, he's in Texas.
Yeah, so. Well, hell. Does he want to move? Vote him in here.
Yeah, sure.
This is a good line. This guy needs Hulk Hogan's music. That would be good, actually. All right, a little more.
This is to be an example of what I personally believe is the best way to effect positive change in this country. Lots of people, including fellow libertarian-leaning folks, will complain about the two-party system. That Republicans and Democrats will just hand you a garbage candidate that you feel the need to support because you have no other alternative. That is only half true. The real truth is that you get to choose who those candidates are in the primary election. And your vote and your efforts go a lot farther in that primary election because it's so often overlooked. But you can make a difference in your local elections, running for school board, city council, and a bunch of other local positions, sometimes even unopposed. I want to inspire a wave of freedom-loving young Americans to take on local roles, support liberty-minded candidates, and effect positive change in this country. If that is the legacy that I leave when I die, I will die a happy man.
Well, there you go.
All right. So that's plenty right there.
That's enough. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Just inspire some of these dummies.
Yeah. So there's your gun-loving gun guy running for Congress.
I like that.
Yeah. So good on him. Or win or lose, it's at least he took the step.
Got to give him credit for being willing to open his life up to the fucking awfulness that's going to attack him now.
Yeah, of course, because like you said, they're going to go back, look through all of his videos.
Mm.
They're going to see this is a dog whistle. See, He said this. See what he did? He said this.
Yeah, he made a joke about shooting somebody. He's probably a murderer.
Right. Yep. That's exactly, unfortunately, what's going to happen.
I know that just sucks, but
It does.
But good on him for at least taking the step. More people need to, I guess.
Yep, I agree. So anyway, well, there's your politics for the night.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Those of you that took a piss break, good call.
Right.
The rest of you, sorry. We'll talk about some music stuff later.
Right.
We got plenty of that to talk about tonight too.
Of course. All right. Well, I guess we could take our first break. What do you think?
Works for me.
All right. I'll let you pick a tune. What would you like to hear?
I would like to hear Spawn, Think It Over. How's that?
Wow.
From round 2, motherfucker.
Okay. Let's see here. I know I have that.
I have no idea if that's in Spotify or not.
But I have it in the music, though.
Yeah.
I do have Spawn.
You better think it over.
Yeah, that was one of those up-and-comer bands that they were making a little noise in the Cleveland area for a while.
Yeah, and then they just disappeared.
Right. But I just remember seeing their name playing at the Odeon a lot.
Sure. Yeah, I loved Spawn. They were probably of all the bands that came out of this area during that hot time, they were probably my favorite. Them or Crypt Kicker, and probably Spawn. I certainly saw Spawn a ton more times because I was friendly with all those guys. I probably saw Spawn 50 times.
Yep. So, did you say Think It Over?
Yeah.
All right, I got it. All right, well, we're going to play a few tunes. We'll come back, get things rolling here. So here it is. This is Cleveland band Spawn from the round 2 release with Think It Over exclusively here
on your classic metal show.